me. Just open field season, open season. So what I'm trying to say is you got to watch your thought, because a lot of these things, they're going to back you off. I'm telling you, sometimes you just feel down and don't know what the fuck you're feeling down about. You be like, damn, I weigh everything. Well, it's going good. My rent paid. My damn lights paid. My lights paid. And basically, if your damn rent paid and your lights paid and shit, you basically all right. You know? And you be all negative and stuff. It's the entities. You see what I'm saying? It's the doggone entities. So now what the deal is, the thing I was saying about your heart not in it, that's metaphysical. When they saying your heart ain't in it, they mean is this. When you focus on this heart chakra, that means that you true to form. And that's when you're supposed to be about the business of doing what you're supposed to do. Anything under here is wishy-washy. Well, you can be this one day, you can be that one day. You got to be true to the form. It cannot be like a political agenda. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you this nigga here, but I'm a member of the NAACP, I'm a member of this. Do we talk about divine cosmic consciousness? You just can't be, you got to be in it, because one day when you into the consciousness and you slip out, something gonna slip in on your ass. You see, that's the walk-ins. Because remember now, they're over the psychic field, so they know your thoughts. Because they're advanced. So therefore, you got to be in this thing. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing like that mother thing, whereas the child be making all that noise, and you ain't got no kids, you going to say, how can she take all that shit? But she don't even know she done got that sense where she know how to tune the mug out. They be jumping, tearing down the house. She be just like, reading it all. My mama used to do that. And she said, damn, Blade, how you do that? She said, I done tuned them niggas out a long time ago. That's what you got. That's the kind of consciousness you got to get to. You got to tune out all the bullshit, whereas you can be in it, because there's no way to separate from it. You see what I'm saying? And tune out all the bullshit. And one of the main things is reducing how much you get mad. A motherfucker come and say, man, you ain't about shit. Look at you. You ain't this and you. Yeah, man, I know, yeah. I know. Yeah, all right, okay. Your mama's a bitch. Yeah, she is. Don't let that shit affect you. Agree with the mother to keep on going. The moment you getting them stuff and all, you getting lowered down to that thing. So you got to really tune this stuff out. You know, tune this stuff out. You see what I'm saying? What's that?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, you just talking about raising the vibration.
Right.
I know this book by Bob Frisell called Things in This Book Aren't True, but they're exactly how
right.
He talks about the Merkaba structure, which is like kind of like the Star of David that surrounds our body.
Right.
And he talks about like this ancient breathing technique. They go through the whole details, and then basically I just want to tell people if they ain't heard about it.
Right.
Bob Frisell and then the breathing technique.
Yeah.
Just involves, you know, cycling deep breathing.
Also, yeah.
Open up the top of your head again.
Right. Also, too, yeah. So, yeah, the breathing thing, the prana.
Yeah, the prana.
The prana and all of that, too, yeah. And bringing that, and turning those vibrations. Mantra, om, thou, all of that raises the vibratory rate. What's that? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They get to explain it, what their problem is. Most of them talk about, I hear voices.
Yeah.
I hear voices in my ear.
That's the entities on them.
The entities jump inside of me and make me do things that I don't like to do. And when I realize that I did it, it pisses me off so bad that it makes me want to go out and hurt myself. So I end up in places like this.
Right.
That's like a reoccurring story.
Exactly. So now what's happening now is that that's been happening throughout the years for mental patients. They've been going through that. Now, that's happening to damn near everybody. And people around you, they ain't really tripping, but they could be up in there and y'all could be getting together good. Next thing you know, the mother got funky with your ass. That's the entity that came in. What's that? That's the main place, is the job place, because that's just like a big vampire station. That's like a big vampire station. And see, right, the jobs is the main place, so that's like a big vampire station. You get bets, and you know sometimes you come out of the job and you be like, whew, it's a load off my mind. And you don't know what the hell going on. And see, sometimes the energy you don't even know. Sometimes you can get along good at the job. But still, when you step outside off the slave, it seems like you're in a whole other world. It's like another dimension. So, yeah. What's that?
No, I just wanted to share with the family that there's stone, this black volcanic glass stone called obsidian. And what I found with obsidian, and likened it to the third eye, the black dot, with the obsidian itself, and then raising the vibration, you can keep a lot of people up off you. You can keep a lot of people back away from you. So if y'all can, check out this stone called black obsidian.
Black and shiny.
It's shiny, and you won't find it in real big pieces. It's like a glass. It's made from, like you find it around volcanoes. But it's really deep because it's linked to our melanin. This is pure black. I mean, you look at it, it's like it's a different type of black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So you have to be careful on what's going on now, because we're getting bombarded by even things not so much as just the white man. It's other things too. It's also dealing. Now this which leads me to this particular article. There was a book called Sun Gods in Exile. Sun Gods in Exile. It was put out in 1980 by a guy by the name of Carl Robin Evans. Anyway, I've been trying to get the book since '93 and was not able to get the book because first of all, the book was put out in England, and it probably wasn't so many copies that was ever put in the United States. And just lo and behold, in the January Nexus, December 1995 to January 1996, if you could somehow get some back issues to Nexus, I found an article in here on this particular tribe. Let me tell you what the tribe is. This tribe came from Sirius, and they are called the Drupa tribe or the Dezopa tribe. The variations based on one of the ancient words, and the later words is called the Dezopa tribe, which is the later word. And it says that the Drupa came out of the clouds in their airplanes. And before sunrise of our men and women and children, women and children hid in caves 10 times. So whatever the part, they landed in Tibet. And even though you got black Tibet, you got an element of Tibet that looked real light. And them was the mutant ones that was living in caves. And in here they say when these came out of the sky, the other ones hid in caves. That was the white boy. And it says when they finally understood the sign language of the Drupka, they realized that the newcomers had peaceful intentions. Another part of the text stated that the Han tribe regretted that the Drupka had crashed in a remote area and that they were unable to build a new spaceship so the Drupa could return to the home planet. So whatever this Han tribe that was there at that particular time, probably was a black tribe, was trying to help them build a new spaceship so that they could actually return to their home planets. Now, Dr. Robin Evans, which his name is Carl Robin Evans, but the name of it is Dr. Robin Evans. It says Dr. Robin Evans managed to reach the destination and gain confidence in the Dezopa tribe. So the Drupka was the ancient word, but by the time he got there in like the late 70s or the early 80s, probably the late 70s, he had to gain evidence. Now this is another thing, just like that the Griot and Dittelin had to do. These French anthropologists had to do with the Dogon. So he had to gain confidence in them, and he was provided with a language, and it says a language instructor who taught him the basic Drupka language. When the Lurgan La, which is a religious leader of the Dezopa or Drupka, told him the history of the tribe, he stated that their home planet was in the Sirius star system. Sirius is the brightest star system in our sky, 8 years from our planet. Other tribes, like the Dogon tribe of Mali, claim to have ascended from this star system. Lugan La explained how 2 expeditions had sent them, had been sent to our planet, our Earth, at first more than 20,000 years ago. So whatever these brothers were, these were black people, because I'm going to pass the picture around and you can see them. You can see, the brother over here looked like a nigger from down Valdosta. You see. So this is the real Tibetans. And it says in the second about 10,014 AD. During this visit, a few spaceships crashed, and it says the survivors were unable to leave Earth. He said that the Droopers were direct descendants of these people, whatever this Dezopa was the later name. Among these, Robin Evans was most remarkable photograph, which I'm getting ready to show you, of the royal Huyan Pala and Zizla, and many measured 1.2 and 1.7 meters, which means I guess they was very short. I guess, as you know, as your Twa people. And not only was their height small and of the entire appearance, but could only be described as strange. The important question is whether the Droopa was a direct descendant of the Dezopa. Anyway, he's dealing with all this particular information, and I want to pass this thing around and show you these particular people that was shipwrecked from Sirius, so you can see. When you pass it back and all, and just pass it around, and you can look at the brother without the hat, and he just looked like the same old brother there, you know, been eating some damn ham hocks. You see what I'm saying? You see. But clearly you can see they're brothers. You see. But anyway, the book, I couldn't find the book for 3 years, and I actually got this article, and I was blessed about this particular article. That particular article. I was blessed to get that and all. So I guess we can also run off a couple of copies of that, because we now have a picture of them brothers. I'm going to blow up a picture and put them brothers up in the house, because them some damn space brothers. You see what I'm saying? Some actually space brothers. Now, I want to read to you another mythology explaining the same events as what's going on now. We are known as the great Cthulhu, or the Osiris. Cthulhu is actually Osiris. And what is happening is because he is rising, he is going to have to fight his people who put him in bondage. So let's go into this mythology again so we can get this, and then we'll show how we're going to have to kill him also too. Check. Okay. Let's go into this particular. So now, like I said in the last lecture, the particular ones we're dealing with in the Pleiades, we were once all the elder gods. But since we left and came down here, whatever the deal is, there's several parts of this creation story, some more advanced than others. I believe that this one to be the most advanced. It says the elder gods are scholars, are a group of beings opposed to the great old ones. We are the great old ones. They are the elder gods. You see, the elder god, and I'm going to read the Cthulhu one to show you what we're going to have to do also too. The elder gods supposedly live somewhere near Betelgeuse in the alternative dimension known as Elysia. At some past time, the great old ones rebelled against the elder gods, taking certain documents from their possession, from the possession of their foes. In retribution for this effort, the great old ones came to earth and battled against the elder gods came to earth and battled against the great old ones. So what we might be talking about here is probably years after the creation thing, but what we're talking about here is an ongoing fight. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have no recorded history, no big fight like that, or no what you call it. It was in another dimension, same earth, another dimension, before the physical trapped us against the great old ones. The war concluded with the imprisonment of the great old ones, which they imprisoned us into the physical bodies, and the return to the elder ones to their homes. Many consider that this may be merely speculation, but others hold it that the elder gods, including Nodin, Kadesh, and Yucatan, will return to combat their ancient foes when the signs are right. They have returned, and now they're walking in. They're literally walking in, and we're being in combat. What's that?
If they imprison us inside these physical bodies, right?
Yeah.
What happens after the person dies? Where does the spirit go?
But what happens is what happened is that spirit goes to another, it goes to the other dimension, but that spirit, because it doesn't have its chakra system and all this other stuff lit open, it's not a glorified spirit. There's a difference between a spirit, which the spirit is just the entity that doesn't have a physical body. Right. But a glorified spirit has all the powers of the gods. So our dead people, you know, they're in another dimension, and they might be better than we are, but they don't have the glorified spirits. And because they didn't have the powers of the God, they would reincarnate in time and time. But the reincarnation is actually over.
So it's just the same with the spirit coming back.
It's just you without a physical body. You see, case in point. Good movie. Go back and get the movie Ghost. Ghost. Yeah, remember when he got out of the physical body, he couldn't do shit. He didn't know how to do nothing because he was still using his physical body. But when he went in there and he met the ghost in the subway, and the ghost told him, say, man, he said, flip that cap, and he couldn't flip it. He said, you still trying to use your physical body, which is now gone. Use your essence. And he showed him how to do those particular things. But the things that they was doing was actually learning to do the same things that you can do in your physical body when your brain tells you to do it. That's what they learned how to do. But the other thing is the glorified spirit, which is straight up Godhead.
So that was like when the church, when the black beings at the end came and got it. Word. Remember?
Right.
Word. Yeah.
Right.
Black beings came and got it.
Yeah, but see, even that particular realm that they even went to, they don't have the power to combat the foes. The ones that's going to have the power to combat the foes is us in here. Let me just read this, and we're going to get into that. That's very interesting. I'll explain that in a few minutes. It says, okay, some say that the elder gods are in fact the old ones because we used to be all one at one time, one perfect life. And it says now, little gods of earth who rule the dreamlands. These beings came into existence in the sleep of the great old ones. So in actuality, what's happening is that there's a part of the elder gods that rule the dreamlands, and when we go to sleep, they put all that crazy stuff in our head to make sure that we won't get through. But sometime our higher self break through and give us the real deal. And we'll have a profound dream. So basically what happened is these entities, for years, they come in and let you dream about all kind of stuff, all kind of crazy stuff. And all this kind of thing here. Finding the old ones in their tombs, the elder gods were terrified and sealed the tombs of the old ones, which is your physical body, with the signs of notings of the great abyss. Now this is the key right here. When Notings is asleep, and the tombs and the seals can be broken, and they may emerge and rule. The great old ones may emerge and rule the world. Now, this is the key. This is the key. What's happening here is when the particular great old ones, or when the stars are right, the other ones are a little weaker, and they are weaker based on your knowledge of them. It don't have to be. Remember now. It don't have to be the whole crew. It just got to be the ones in this little circle. You see what I'm saying? And that's less than 0.2. You know what I'm saying? 0.2%. So it don't have to be the masses. It don't have to be the ones in this room.
So you're saying like due to the fact that the person, whoever the ones in prison in the tombs are, due to the fact that they realize all that shock stuff.
Yeah, but for the mere fact that you are here, the mere fact that you are being interested in knowledge, you vibrating at a certain pace, at least at the heart chakra. The mere fact that you are being interested in knowledge. Now there could be some in here that's still down here and they just listen to it and they go back out there and do some other shit. That's up to you. I ain't got time, But we know the ones that you see, you see. So now that's you see now. Okay, let's go into a few other things. And then we explain something. Okay. All right. Okay. The records show that Cthulhu and it's fragmentary, but it seems they originated on the world of Rule, the 25th nebula, and he is later revealed as in the double star of Ox in the center of Iyatha. I'm only going to get through all these damn terminology. Cthulhu flew to Saturn, and from Saturn descended to the earth. Upon their arrival to shoot the Cthulhu in his routine took up residence on the continent of the Pacific, which means it was all still the one same landmass and all this kind of thing here also too, where they built the great stone city Rayleigh. First, Cthulhu and his spawn encountered resistance from the elder things and had dwelt in earth for millions of years before Cthulhu's coming. What we're talking, yeah, probably so, because remember now, all the animals used to could talk. All the animals used to could speak. It's like Brother Juju say, they only shut up because the crackers was killing so many of them. And then they just stopped talking. But most of the animals could speak. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, shoot. All them damn cows we done ate, we might have to tend to some shit, when we get back to the other thing, Following the war with Cthulhu, the spawn destroyed the elder things in land cities, and two species declared a peace and to not harass each other. The following arrangement, the great Cthulhu enjoyed many years of freedom in this world. During these millions of years, humanity slowly evolved, which means humanity slowly evolved, which means you slowly came into your physical body. It depends on how you read this thing. Cthulhu spoke of these beings through telepathy and their dreams. That means your higher self speaking to you. Your higher self speaking to you through your dreams and telepathy. So when you dream, that's like a telephone way. That's like a doorway open so you can see the real deal stuff. Telling them where to find certain statues in their images and that they had brought down from the stars, including in terms of the proper worship of Rayleigh in this way the cult of Cthulhu began, or the cult of Osiris. Okay, one day disaster struck Black Rayleigh. It may have been vengeance from the unknown deities, change of the stars. And I'll tell them we can hear them back there, because tell them we can hear them back there and all. Yeah, tell them we can hear them back there. And the stars and the moon being ripped from the earth. So what happened was, when this great war went on, the moon was ripped from the earth. Now, like I said before, I always laugh when I hear this part, because I said, here's the cracker talking about some same stuff that we laughed at Elijah Muhammad saying it. No matter the case, the city of Rayleigh sunk beneath the Pacific Ocean, trapping Cthulhu and his spawn. Now, the point I'm trying to make is this here. It talks about here. Here it is, in his spawn, okay. And the water, in his spawn. The water blocked most of their telepathic signals, making them able to communicate to their worshippers through dreams. That's the only way they could basically communicate if you wasn't a psychic. They fell asleep, but they could not die, and they were helpless of anyone or anything. They were helpless to do anything but wait until the stars were right, and they could be freed from their prison. They said one day they will be freed from their prisons and take up a fight against their ancient foes. Now, the key I'm trying to make is, when the stars are right, we know that the stars are right now because the Dogon get that signal. Now look at this. I want to read something to you that I found in another Kabbalah, one that's out of print, but I found this Kabbalah, and I want to read this part to you. And I want to show you something here, because this is dealing with the sectech boat that we're dealing with right here. Look at this. Here it is. It says, I see him, but not now. These words were purely fulfilled, was purely fulfilled in that time, and purely afterwards, and partly they will be fulfilled in a time of the King of the Messiah. We learn that the Holy One, blessed be him, resolved upon the rebuilding of Jerusalem. You see, and let me stop, because I want to get that piece of paper. See if I got it here. The word, if you take the word, Jesus is a variation of Horus. Come to find out that the Greeks, we come to find out this here, that in actuality, the word Horus, if you take the word H, which you see the word Jesus, also you get the word Jesus, which is a H. You take the word E. If you take the word H, and you take the word, if you take the word O, because there was no vowels in the word Ara, U-S, there's a variation of Jesus because they just substitute certain letters from Greek. When it was changed from Egyptian to Greek, it became a certain thing. So Heru or Horus, which is a Greek word, later on became Jesus. Maybe later on became Jesus. And all is a variation. Also the word Heru becomes the word He and J, so you get the word Jeru. And Jeru becomes Jerusalem. Salam meaning peace. Heru in peace, or the Christ in peace, which is your soul. Jerusalem is the soul. So Saliam, also a salam, means peace, but Saliam also comes from the word Mausoleum, and the word Ma, which means Mayat, Mayat's house. Ma, mother's house. Mayat, Ma's house. Mayat's house. Mausoleum, so Saliam is a mausoleum is a vault or a house. You see what I'm saying? So it means house of Heru. Also, house of Heru also means Het, which is house. Het, Heru with the God, Hathar. So all of these words, Jeremiah, Herumiah, you see what I'm saying? Herumiah, all of these words, but the word Jesus is a Gnostic word that came from the word Jehu, J-E-U, and comes from the word Heru, or Haru, which is Heru. So all of these are variations where you get the word Jesus. So the word Jesus comes from the word Jehu, and the word Jehu comes from the word Heru. And these are variations of the same thing. So I was interested because I even found Jesus' name in ancient scripts beyond the historical Jesus. They named this historical fellow, whoever the hell he was, that name. You see. But that name literally means Horus. It's a Greek word for Horus, Jesus. And so the historical person who threw things off. See, what happened with Adalabroth is Adalabroth. What he did was, to throw things off, he came in and put some historical fella here, and that historical fella threw it all off for the whole world. And everybody is based on, you even calculate time on this motherfucker, AD. You see what I'm saying? And what threw him off, even Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this person came in teaching doom and gloom back in the day, and they had another 2,000 years, and that was an imposter. So the false Messiah is Jesus. Because clearly when you read your Bible, well, I don't want to say the word Jesus, but the false Messiah is the historical Jesus. That's what I want to say. That historical person. Because clearly when you read your Bible, it says, in Revelation, it says, the man that sat on the horse, in the book of Revelation, when the sky opened, he has a name in his hand that nobody knows. So hell, you see what I'm saying? And he has a book in his hand that nobody knows. So obviously the one that was there was the false Messiah, but you also get the Antichrist, which was actually the false Messiah, that rise up and go after him. Well, let's break this down. Who is the Antichrist and the false Messiah? In the last days, the false Messiah will be the church. Organized religions. Adalabroth and the aliens and the Pleiadians run the government. And on the government, you will have over 100 religious stations worldwide in the United States, both cable and both all of these. Now, seem to me, if they talk about religion, why the hell is it only Christianity? You don't see mass Jewish stations, mass Islam stations, mass all. You only see hundreds and hundreds of Christian stations. And even the Republican Party is now, they got an answer to what? The Christian coalition who wants to cut out welfare. You see what I'm saying? So the false Messiah and the false religion is the church. And the best way to get the entities, the reason why you got a lot of motherfuckers coming in the zombie, because when they go into the church and start jumping up and doing celebrations, if you invoking spirits with music and song, it's a ritual of sermon, and you invoking spirits in the church and opening up your vessel, and your heart, most of the people just believe in that stuff because they follow somebody else, they're pulsating from the root chakra. So therefore, when they go into the church, the doggone Pleiadians and the entities come in and walk in the bodies. Walk in the bodies. See where I'm coming from? So the church is being completely taken over. It's number one, it's the earthly Illuminati entity. But number two, when you go in those churches, because it's fundamentalism and has nothing to do with spirituality, and you open these people up, because when black people, they carry a certain energy anyway. So when they start pumping that stuff, or even when you party, you open it up. And when you do that, that's when they snatch the bodies. So the false Messiah in the last days is the doggone Christian religion. You see what I'm saying? It's basically the Christian religion. That's the false one in the last days. Because if you notice everything that is wrong with us, basically you can turn that shit back to the church. And any opposition you're going to get is going to be by the church. You see? What's that?
Have you heard they talk about this creation thing in schools now?
Right, yeah. The creation thing. But see, that creation thing that they're teaching is only based on some old biblical creation. You see what I'm saying? Which is all false. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Because if there's a Christian creation, But not that kind of Christianity. It's Christendom and the Gnostic creation. You see what I'm saying? Now this is the point. Look at this. Look at this. I want to deal with something. He will rebuild Jerusalem and it calls it to appear a... Now listen to this. Now this is the point right here. So we'll know what time this shit is right now. Okay? Look, I want to go slow because I want you to hear this. I have learned that the Holy One, blessed be He, resolved upon the building of Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, and will cause to appear a fixed star, and 70 flaming channels, and 70 beings, and the entire firmament, and 70 other stars will borrow light from it, and it will shine for 70 days, and in the 6th day it will be seen on the 25th day and the 6th month and the 7th day, and it will appear in the as a expiration of 70 days. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that fixed star, for the people who haven't seen the ship, you can go right out there right now and see it. That ship is up in the sky is the one that they're talking about in this particular part. And this ship has been here past 70 days because it appeared, it cut on its lights at the end of November or the 1st of December. And if you add that up, that's past 70 days. But we're talking about 70 days going into the vernal equinox. What's that, brother?
No, this is the star that's been like up underneath the moon.
That's the ship. That's the Sectec boat. So you're going to find out ships and stars is one and the same. That ship out there is as big as the earth. It's just in another dimension and it appears as a star. But it's a ship. It's a ship. Now it's interesting because first of all, if you saw the moon last week from the 20th, it happened on the 20th of December, the 20th of January, from the 20th to the 25th or 26th of December, from the 20th to the 26th of January, and the 20th or the 26th of February. You saw something that was unusual. In moon charts, the moon is never upside down. This moon was upside down, and the upside down moon is in the symbol of only one thing in ancient literature. It's called the celestial ship of the north, or it's called it's called the Ark. Now I showed that in the last book, in the book, the Fucanelli phenomenon. The reason why the doggone reason why the actual the government went after him, the CIA, is because he broke some codes. Right here you'll see the upside down moon, and it says Ark, and it says Ark, and then it says, based on this particular Ark, they say it'll be a great star. You saw the star. That's the ship of Osiris. Osiris is another form of Ra, Ptah, Ra, all that's the same thing. The Sectec boat. The Ark. So you say a great star, a ferryman in the moon, which is the Ark, a angry traditional sun. Well, you saw how angry the sun was this summer, right? A eclipse of major axles, and major axles, well, hell, we know that major axles, what is the eclipse of major axles? That's when you have damn weather that they can't predict. You see what I'm saying? Hurricanes that they can't predict. You see what I'm saying? That they can't predict. So this is the stuff that we're dealing with here, and that's the Ark. Now, that's why I said it was interesting about this book, Moon Magic, because it's hard to find information on the upside down moon. But on the page 11, let's see what the upside down moon is. The upside down moon, here's a picture of it. You see the sun, you see the sun, and you see the moon. The sun represents the star. But I swear on the 21st, if you went out and saw the moon, you would have saw a whole moon, and then you would have saw a bright little strip. You can see the whole moon, and you can see a strip. You see what I'm saying? That's what you saw on the first and the second day, mainly the first day, on the 20th. The 21st, the moon disappeared with the star as it did in January. The moon disappeared with the star, went down with the star, it didn't stay up. The star usually leaves and the moon stays out. On the second day, the moon left with the star, twice. I calculated the first time because I said, I don't want to be wrong. So the second time I went out there and I looked, and it hauled ass with the star. I saw it. So now you see the moon. Also, the sun also represents the star also. Now, what it says, when you see this upside-down moon, it's a lunar barge of the ancient Egyptians, which the moon travels over the sky in the west and returns to the nether world in the east. That thing comes up in the west, and it returns at night to the world. I talked about that information. They're telling you right here what it is in this book, and we can bear witness to this shit right now. You see what I'm saying? That's it. And they talk about it in this particular book, Moon Magic, which is very interesting. They talk about it very interested in that particular book. So now we are bearing witness. We are bearing witness to what's actually going on in the last days. Now, in the last days. Now, let's see what we got here. Boom, boom, boom. I want to see something. No, this ain't important at all. Basically, what they were saying was, is when the ship appears, they said that all the kings of the earth is going to go after Israel. The kings of the earth and the kings of the heaven is going to go after Israel, like slaughterhouses, and that's what's happening. Secretively, we are being killed, all from all over the earth. You see what I'm saying? Concentration camps and all of that particular thing. And even one of the women on that ancient prophecy said when she went up under the water and she died, she said for a while she saw concentration camps that the people was going to be in too. You see. And one of the guys said that he saw that the book of Psalms was an ancient prophecy book, and he was saying that because they were talking about killing Israel, but he was thrown off. He was thinking that it was the Holocaust of the damn Jewish Holocaust, but the Psalm Holocaust of killing Israel happened thousands of years even before them motherfuckers even got burned up in a damn heater. Right? The killing of the Israel that he's talking about in Psalms was us. Because they killing right now. They killing us now. Them Jews, we still dying. And that's the prophecy. So even though he was giving it out, and I knew that the cracker just couldn't understand, because he's a victim of a hidden knowledge that the white man didn't even teach their own people what's going on, to hide it from us. So I understood when he was talking about, he was saying about how they was going to just kill Israel and just kill the people, because we the real original Hebrews, the original Egyptians. The lost children of Israel is the lost children of Ra. Depends on what part of the section you in. And they was talking about how they was going to kill all of Israel and kill all this stuff. And I'm laughing, I'm saying, hell, Psalms is giving it up on how they're killing us. And the Bible just talk about the persecution. Throughout that Bible, they talk about the persecution of us. That's why I say, I'm not telling you to give up the Bible. I'm telling you to go into the Bible and get the keys. That's all they talk about, even in the book of Matthew. What's that?
Yes, Holocaust became on TV about this body religion. They believe they call it body religion. They believe it was UFOs coming back to liberate Israelites.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, they got some part of the actual stuff right on what's going down. Now, let's see here. Look at this. The name of the ship, I want to show you something. The name of the ship that we see out here, ancient mythology that you know about was taken off of the ancient history of this ship. And let me show you what the ancient mythology is before I get right into this particular part of the the Grim Reaper, who calls all souls which are ready for the human trial into the kingdom of death. In Egyptian, the designation, for death is notable, is the devourer of the million years in its name. The ship is called the ship of a million years. The original name for it was the Sektek boat. It was called the Sekka boat. And the Sekka is a death god of Egypt in page 191, which is still talking about the death ship, which is the main mothership that talk about. The ancient ritual on the Grim Reaper is also talking about that. Now, there's some movies you need to go see. You need to get, well, first of all, Braveheart was, when you saw Braveheart, that was nothing but the black men in Scotland with the Celts, which is the Egyptian rose, fighting against white England. And that's what, what's his name, played, Mel Gibson. That was the black man fighting against Any of your movies like your Highlander, that's nothing but the black Heru cutting off the heads that's in the ritual of Egypt, the destruction of mankind, and also hair in the legend of Wing Dis. So hold on a minute. And it was in that particular, the robe is the Egyptian robe, as well as your Scotland. So Braveheart, another movie you want to get on video is a movie called The Secrets of Rowan Ish. This movie is telling you the movie on how Scotland was black. But when they show it, they're going to be talking about the darkies. But they're going to change it, and you're not going to get it because they're going to be talking about a people that came from some black seals. And they said, when the seal come up, if you can get the seal skin, you can have that woman for a lifetime. So the seal came up, and this guy, and the seal came up, and this white woman came out, she got in the water, and she was bathing. And while she was bathing, the guy got her skin and put it in the attic. So she hooked up with him and had to marry him. That's the same thing if you get a black woman. You see what I'm saying? You see, it's the whole thing about intermarriage. So he put the skin in the attic, and she had all these children for him. And one day she was looking in the attic and found her skin and jumped in the water and went back home to the underworld. That's anytime you see the sea people, that's the mermaid, sea people, Atlantis, the Dagon. So she went back to the underworld. Anyway, she birthed all these darkies throughout Ireland. But you thinking it's the seal, and it's actually talking about the black element in Ireland, as well as the movie The Commitment, where the guy was trying to start a soul band because he said because the Irish are the black men of Europe. Also, there's a thing called the Pharaohs of Scotland in the Montauk Pyramids of Montauk book. So we talk about that black element, that black element that they're also talking about. Now, one key was I knew it was on the way on how we could kill these babies. And I said, okay, I got this shit now. And because I was reading the Gnostic scriptures, and so you have the Gnostic scriptures, which is the secret books of Jean Therese. Here's a book called The Gnostic Scriptures by Benton Lately. And it's got a lot of stuff on the Adalabra and all what went down in there. Okay, that's one book, $20-something book. Then there's, so you have the Gnostic scriptures, but the Bible to the Gnostic scriptures is called the Epista Sophia, which is the book of the rising of the Christ. It's called being the book of the Savior. So now what it means is of all the stuff that Adalabra and them did, you have the book of coming forth by day, which is actually the book of the dead. So now the book of the Christ, which this is the book in which the Bible, the old part, Old Testament, which means your old body, New Testament, which means your new body. You see what I'm saying? So the New Testament just means the Christ element. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. Wasn't talking about no two parts of no Nile Valley. That's some shit that the white man added into history and got all the scholars. Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt. Two crowns, the white crown, red crown, the root chakra is red. They got two crowns, which is Lower Egypt. The white crown is Upper Egypt, which is white, which is the crown chakra. They're talking about chakra system, and all the scholars didn't know the white man fused in history when it was metaphysical. All the history in Egypt never happened. Most of that stuff they invented, and Manetho gave to them niggas, gave to the Greeks to put out. That stuff didn't even happen. Shit was mainly metaphysical. So now, the book of the Savior, in the first part of the Epista Sophia on page 1, even though you got about 30 pages of the introduction, of the Epista Sophia, the first book of the Epista Sophia said, it comes to pass when Jesus has arisen from the dead, or Heru has arisen from the dead. So this is talking about the actual stuff in which this is talking about the actual stuff that the Bible, the New Testament is talking about. So this is the real deal stuff on where they got their shit from, or the Gnostic scriptures. So now, Pistis Sophia, which is the great mother, and Pistis means light. Now look, on page 15, I'm going to show you when I said I'm on to it. I said I'm going to find out how to kill them. I said I know how to kill them, and I knew it had something to do with light. Well, let me show you what the deal is. You see, you got to go back to ghosts. If you plan on trying to do, if you're thinking physical, you can't end nothing. Now, before I get the preface to this, I want to show you something to show you, to get the mindset on how you battle things. Anything you want, you got to battle it from another mental perspective. So let's see here. Listen to what I'm saying here. All gods are but one God. All religions are but one religion. The universe exists in the mind of God. I, the Son, child of man, and the Father are one God, are but one. Now, it says, I want to get this right. What is religion? What is magic? How can this proclaim that man and God are one? If the universe exists in the mind of God, what can we say about the mind of man who is one with God in a sense, who is God? You understand? Now, it says, the irrational mind is a cheat. We are talking about using your spiritual mind to slay the unreal, which is real. So now, your rational mind is a cheat. So when you fighting something, you fight everything you want to fight in here. All the shit that is bothering us is inside our head. The Adalabroth and all them in the universe, they're right in here. If you God, all the thing you got to do is go in and slay them. Now, how do you slay them? You just imagine a fight, fighting someone, busting Bill Bottle with his head and doing some damn John Wayne shit? No, that's physical. Look, let's see what we got here. I want to show you something. All right, this is the key. Okay, it came to pass, then I saw the mystery of all these words, and the vesture was sent me the stairway that I could myself therewith I shone most exceedingly and soared into height. So the vesture is his vessel, his array, his light. That's the vesture. It's a glowing type thing, what he's dealing with here. We talk about energy. You see, now, this is it. And this is what it says, because on the side of it, they tell you, they break it down into words, because this is like, see, most of this stuff reads like a ritual, or it reads like a hymn. So they put it in the rituals and the hymns so the idiots and the white man can get say, oh, that's just some religious stuff. But basically, it's science and it's physics. And if you understand what the ancients was doing, they added all the stuff in the hymns or rituals. And it says, Jesus put on his vesture. You Christ, right? You Christ, putting on your vesture. They said that I will put within them a new spirit. But the new spirit that resides in them is what? Is the spirit of the Messiah. So the Messiah that they talk about is to come is in all of us. That's the Kabbalah now. If you don't get nothing, ain't no person coming back to save you. It's coming back through your ass. You see what I'm saying? That's the mystery. All the mystery system, all the damn Masons, and all the motherfuckers who don't know this stuff. All the people that you think got mysteries, they ain't got no mysteries. See what I'm saying? I done went up and down the East Coast, and I got one little old black book. I said, if I told all the Masons, I'll give you to the end of the lecture. If you can explain to me what it means in this book on 2 or 3 sentences, I'll give you $100. And I ain't found one yet. So what I'm trying to say is all the Masons, all that stuff, they ain't but one mystery. What's that? Becoming God. Rising yourself to the Christ level. The idiots worship Christ. You are Christ. They're worshiping Christ when they're supposed to be becoming Christ. That's the key. You see what I'm saying? Now, he puts on his vesture. You're going to put on your vesture. Now, it comes before the first gate of the firmament, which means you're going out into the cosmos, or you're going to the other dimension, any place other than the earth. I don't give a damn where it is. I don't give a damn if the underworld or wherever they are. Whoever holding my ass back, I'm coming for their ass. Because I know I got the power now how to do this shit. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. He puts on the first gate of the firmament, shining most exceedingly, and there was no measure of light which was about me, and the gates of the firmament were shaken, one against another, and all open at once. So now, how you going to get the gates to open? You first going to get the gates to open by shining your light. Now I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute. I'm going to show you what he's doing, then we're going to show you how you can do this. Okay, then we're going to do a ritual to get some light so we can get that light so you can do some stuff. And I'm telling you, if you shine this light on people, I go in the thing and the cracker stop me and say, you ain't got the proper ID. You know how they always stop you for something. You can't shine your light on their ass. And automatically you find out, boom. Like I knew I had to go speak in Philly, and the girl got me on a 5 o'clock flight. And I said, I can't get up no 5 o'clock. I don't get up to damn 10 or 12. If I get up at 5 and I got to speak at 1, shoot, you won't get me speaking. I'm a night person. So I said, hell, I'm going to do the standby. I got there and shine my light. The woman said, oh, you don't have to go stand by. We'll put you right on the plane. And that was $70. You see what I'm saying? That I didn't have to pay. Shine your light. That's how you get out of the situation. You got to go back and watch Ghost. You use the energy within you instead of using the energy without. That's what the whole movie Ghost was about. He couldn't do nothing when he died until he learned how to what? Use the energy of what his spirit can do. But we're not just talking about the unglorified spirit. We're talking about the glorified spirit that you got, which is the energy of God, which is the God is back in this sphere now. Right? Okay? Now, this is what it says on the side here. The powers of the firmament are amazed and fall down and adore him. All the rulers, all authorities, and all angels therein wherein we're all together into agitation because of the great light, and which was on me. The great light was on me. I'm explaining in a minute. And they gazed at the radius vesture of light, and which was clad, and they saw the mystery of the contents of their names. Now, what it means is this. We know that there's an element. We tired of suffering down here. We know that now we can get past the white boy because we found out that he's just a peon. The mystery of it is most white people are nothing but damn, we out of here. Idiots. We're going to go into question and answer. I just got to get to the killing thing and show you how you got to use your mind to get what you want. You see. You ready? Okay. Now, it says, and all the rulers and the authorities and all the angels therein were thrown together, all together, into agitation because of the great light. So, we're going back. Remember? Now, all you got to do is rethink. Remember I was telling you the part about a dollar broth. And I told you that this particular God is the same God that all the people are praying to in the churches. You'll know that they're praying in this church and they say, I am a jealous God. Right? And the only reason why you didn't know that there was a God above that was because the damn whoever called the Bible up, they took all that Gnostic scripture that told you about the great mother and the other creation, and they took that out. So you praying to a lesser one called a supreme being. He said, I'm a supreme being, I have no other God before me. But the great mother said, do not lie. There's one above you. She says, do not lie. There's one above you. And let me read it to you. Because I want you to get the concept of how we're going to get out of this thing. It ain't no voting ballots. It ain't getting no money. It ain't no shit like that. It ain't no praying. You understand what I'm saying? It's straight up taking authority. As a man and woman thinketh, so is he or she. Look. Now, let's just slow down. Don't worry. If I'm going too fast, it'll be on the tape. But I want to see something. Look. Dollar brought. Look at this. No. Look. He says, I am the Father and God, and there is no one above me. But the great mother, overhearing him, cries out, do not lie, Adala brought. Over and above thee, there is the Father of all, the first man, and the Son of Man. Who is above that God? Question, who's above that God? You. You're above the God. Let me go back to the story. I was telling this story, but you got to get the concept. So the reason why I say you got to get the concept, because fundamentally you got to understand this if you're going to work for yourself. If you change your mind overnight and find out who you are, you understand what I'm saying? The energy works different. Now, I told you that this Adala brought, or this set typing, she shitted him to create a man. Right? She said, go ahead and create the man and he'll bow down and worship you. He said, okay, cool. Because he's half created. So he's trying to be like the great mother. He despises her and he's trying to be like her. So he's got the arrogance because he wants to be like her. So he wants to, she creates. He said, I want to create. So he got the power to create. So he wanted a person to worship him. So she said, go ahead and make this man. He made the man, so the man was laying flat. She said, blow your breath into him. He blew his breath into him, and she looked up behind him, and she blew her breath into him, the dew of light, or the first Adam that was supposed to be meant for him, but he didn't get because he jumped out too fast and wasn't formed. And it came into the man. That meant that the man was automatically over him because he got the first dew of light. You understand what I'm saying? He got the first dew of light, and he's jealous. I am a jealous God. I'm jealous of your ass, so I want you to worship me because there's no God above me. That's the flavor of the church, and that's what's keeping your ass down. You worship him a fucking bastard that don't like you. It must be true, because the more you worship him, the more he puts hell on your ass. And give a white man more than he give your ass. His true son, I know you are the son of Satan. He was a liar in the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key. Now, the key what I just said was, your best you, your light. Well, you say, well, wait a minute, hold on. How could just the light? She gave him a dew of light. The dew of light was more superior than the light of Adalabrov or Set because he was formed. So he didn't get it. She just said that the one, do not lie. The one that is the most superior is the one on the earth. You see what I'm saying? So now, when you shine the light, they say all them punk-ass niggas out there in the cosmos is holding us down. They were thrown together and they were agitated because of the light. You see what I'm saying? That was on me. That was on you. Then it says in here, the powers of the firmament are amazed and fall down to him. Okay, he entereth the first sphere. The powers of the first sphere was amazed and fall down to him. He entereth the second sphere. The powers of the second sphere was amazed and fall down to him. He enters the eons, which is talking about he's onto higher levels. And the powers of the eons was amazed and fall down to him. Then it comes down to this particular part. This is a dollar brought. Now he done got to this fucker now. The supreme being, the one that's ruling. Atomus and tyrants fight against the light. He taketh them and a third of their power. He taketh them and a third of their power. That means this. What it means is what you're going to do is, they say, what exists in the mind of God? You're going to go into meditation, or you're going to put a light around you. First of all, you are in the physical, this shell. So you're going to, the more and more you think of your aura, the more and more you loosen up this shell so you can be free. So you just put this light around you. Don't think that that's just an imagining. No, you don't understand. The universe exists in the mind of God. Whatever God thinks of, creates. Because you're God and you got the first atom, all you got to do is do it in your damn mind. You see what I'm saying? So you just go out in the darkness. Imagine the space. Go out in the darkness and just light up the damn space and shine it on everything out there. And if it ain't right, it's got to fall. But you're going to have to do this in a series of imaginations in meditation. You see what I'm saying? And meditation is only just being quiet and going into your mind and just actually literally making a storybook. You used to do the shit when you used to be in the classroom and the teacher called on you and you'd be like, huh? You were daydreaming. You ever had fantasies about things where you put yourself as the bad motor Gita? You know, I'm the bad shit. That's what you're doing here. But now, your mind is the mind of God. The power and the light is the light that shines based on your mental thought. Because what is light called? Light is called knowledge. Coming in the light, it's called knowledge. So it's knowing. Gnosis, which means knowing, which means light. So it's your mind. That's all it is. That is your mind. And if you can fashion your mind and stuff, you can conquer all the stuff you want to conquer. So for you, now to break this down on the physical level, basically what you do is you go into the blackboard and you draw everything that you want out on your mind, and you can change the conditions or whatever you want out here. But the key is this. There's only one key. The key is the word gnosis, knowing. You can't just go in and say, well, I hope I can do this, and I hope this can happen. You got to know that this shit gonna happen. And the more and more you are sure, the more and more it'll happen. That's the key. Because to not know, which means you're ignorant, and to not know, that means you be lesser than the God that's supposed to do this thing. And it's only going to register when you actually know what time it is, and really know, and go in and create a whole nother mental universe in your mind. And you do it through light. All that's out there is the light, and you can do it through light. I've already done it. I've already gone to the other side, and I've seen all these crystals, and I saw all these light beings, and I saw all this light. And then I went out in space, and you know how you see the sun and you see the blue sky. I saw the entire sky turn into the sun, where it was just this bright light, and I was in the middle of the shit. And then I went out into black space, and I lit up all of that. So you can do it. You see what I'm saying? You can literally do it. And right after that, I started seeing all the niggas I knew that died. I said, well, let me see who died. I'm going to go back and visit this mother and stuff. And you can do this.